Hello, everybody.
Hello, gentlemen.
Long time no see. From the trio right here, the Raw Dogs. You know me. You saw me on Saturday night after NXT Vengeance Day. I'm Cory. You got JPJ right there, and you got Nick. Welcome, fellas. We are back. How we doing?
We are back. We are doing well. I thought this was the best episode of Raw we've gotten in like the last month or so. I thought this was good. I'm excited. We picked a good time and a good night to kind of pop back on and get back after it. And I'm excited to see you fellas. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
We are officially on the road to WrestleMania, and I am psyched about it. Last week was a really good start. I think this kept the momentum going. I'm excited to see what's happening next.
Yeah, we're officially a little under 6 weeks left now. 40 days.
5 weeks, 40 days on the money.
40 days until WrestleMania.
Yep.
They've got a lot of stuff planned heading into Mania that they're gonna try and pull us in with. It's been up and down, as we know, recently, but they're starting. I think the biggest storylines that they have going, they're starting to cook with them, and we'll start talking about tonight. Tonight. Monday Night Raw was in Seattle, Washington. It was packed house, it looked like.
Yeah, crowd was good.
Yeah, crowd. They had a nice sound to them tonight.
Yep, I agreed.
Right before the show, Bodyslam on the Bodyslam Patreon posted the Monday Night Raw rundown, which was altered a little bit. They did alter the rundown tonight. Initially, the first match of the night was supposed to be Oba versus Rusev. That was the closing match tonight, and then they moved the women's gauntlet up, which I guess kind of made sense when the flow of things happened. And tonight's show, it was action packed, so I guess it did make sense to move it. But tonight we started off with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce in the ring. Adam Pearce is in the ring. He said he's got some things to talk about. He's got to address one thing specifically. He knows he's in the building. Come on out here, Seth Rollins. And what do we get? We don't get Seth Rollins. We get like 100 ninjas. 30 masked men. They were like ninjas.
Everyone's like, hey man, they're doing the masked man gimmick too much. They need to stop that. And WWE and Hunter's like, hold my beer, guys. There's 30. There's 30 of them. Yeah.
There was a lot of them. They popped up everywhere. Yeah. They come up, they start pounding the ring, and then you finally get Seth Rollins to pop up in the ring. He comes in, he takes off his hood, takes off his mask. Him and Adam Pearce talk a little bit. You get that to happen. Then, of course, the two members left of Division, because since we haven't been here, Division is decimated a little
cursed.
bit.
Yeah. Did Danhausen curse them first before he showed up? What the hell?
Before he even signed with WWE?
Yeah, what the hell?
Somebody.
Yeah, what a run of bad luck. What a run of bad luck.
We get Logan Paul and Austin Theory coming out to interrupt this segment. They say they're going to take out each and every one of the masked men, and Seth Rollins made the worst decision of his life. Instead, they come. You get all these masked men to jump in the ring. They do a little la-di-da around the ring. You cannot tell where Seth Rollins is. And they leave. The masked men are out of there.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, LA Knight's song hits, and here comes Mr. Yeah coming to the rescue. The Vision's in the ring. They're waiting. Here he comes. But he's not alone. Nope. Right after LA Knight gets there, here comes the World Tag Team Champions, the Usos. And the three of them outnumbered the two of the Vision. So the Vision get knocked out of the ring. LA Knight and the Usos stand tall in the opening segment. What did you guys think of all this craziness and chaos with the masked men and following the masked men with the other five involved in that segment?
Sure.
You can go, Nick.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good way to get that Seth Rollins pop when he pulled his mask off. Crowd's always excited to see him. I would I don't want them to keep doing this for another week or two. I'd like Seth to get some mic time soon and explain kind of because last time we saw him before he got attacked, like he was a bad guy. Now he's a good guy, and he's kind of like that rebel without a cause, except his cause is to take out what's left of the Vision. But I thought tonight it was good. I don't think they should keep doing it for the rest of the road to WrestleMania, but for tonight I thought it was fairly entertaining. I did chuckle at the little shuffle dance that all the masked men were doing. I thought that was a little cheesy, a little hokey, but it got what it needed to get done.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty okay. This was actually my least favorite part of the show. I thought the rest of the show.
I think the consensus online is that this was the worst part of the show.
Like the show only kind of got better as we went, I thought. But like this wasn't bad. Like I'm glad Seth's back. I'm glad Seth. Obviously, they wouldn't be doing this if he was. I know they're saying he's not medically cleared, and that still might be the case. But he's obviously he's close enough that they're cool with doing this if he's not really, So like, I'm glad he's back. I'm just kind of like, what is this actually leading to? Like, is the hope that Braun Breaker will be back before Mania because there's still time? But okay, but what if that doesn't happen? Then what are we getting? Seth versus these two guys? Is Seth going to find a part? Is it Seth and Logan? We running that back? Like, what? I would assume the goal is hopefully Braun Breaker is healthy before, even if it's the week of Mania. Who cares? If he's healthy, get him out there. It's Seth and Braun. Like, I would think that would be the goal. But can't be a guarantee in that, I would guess. Like, and it's like, where do we go? Do
you think Paul Heyman enlists Brock Lesnar and we get Rollins versus?
They could lean into that it could be a backup plan, but I feel like that we'll get to that. But I feel like that needs to be somebody else.
They definitely have their plans. In stone right now that they're going to go a direction. If they can't go one, then they're going to lean to another, and they're going to tease it on TV. But to answer your question, I've talked about it. The consensus and the feeling is WWE is hopeful that Braun Breaker is going to be cleared by WrestleMania, and that's going to be the match one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Awesome. And that's the match I feel like we all want, and that's going to be great. That's another big time match. With when they've been kind of, since the last time we've all been here, they've kind of rewritten a lot of stuff that they had planned because 100%. Things weren't going well, and so they're like, we need to garner some excitement. And like, we still got 5 more weeks of television, 5.5 more weeks of television. Mm-hmm. But I feel like last week and especially tonight, at least for me, because I was kind of, I enjoy the show, but I was kind of feeling like, oh, this isn't. I'm not really jazzed. My interest is back. Like it's coming back. So.
Yeah, I think they're trying when it comes to this whole Seth Rollins angle, is they're just trying to get people to peek and be like, okay, he's back now. We're going to feature him in some kind of way until we find out exactly what is set in stone for WrestleMania. Because as you mentioned, Adam Pearce is saying that Seth Rollins is not cleared for WrestleMania, which may be the case. However, WWE, if he's not cleared as of this moment, he's very, very close to being cleared because that man is a psychopath when it comes to rehab.
My best.
And he had surgery 5 months ago. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there, and Braun Breaker too. Braun Breaker is a fucking freak of nature. They said Paul Heyman wasn't putting those lines in his promos for nothing that he's been doing. Talking about Braun Breaker is going to come back better than ever. He's stronger, this and that. It's true. It's true. Coming back from a damn hernia that you had to have emergency surgery on because you aggravated it, being a lunatic on Monday Night Raw, flipping the table. It's going to be crazy, but the opening segment was meh.
Yeah, I thought so, but I did like how obviously they furthered the Seth story here, but they also built a layer because I feel like the Vision will be in the tag title picture at Mania with the Usos. So I feel like they kind of built a secondary story in this, and then LA Knight's kind of floating around out there. What's he gonna do? I know there was the rumor of, but so they kind of built other avenues of other things happening at Mania.
Yeah, that's totally intentional because they don't know exactly what the direction is due to injuries and whatnot right now. But they do have like a set in stone where this is what we're going to do if this person's good. This is what we're going to do if this person's not good. So they have plans in place already, which is why they're teasing multiple things in case something does happen, which is also, you mentioned Brock Lesnar earlier. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman had a in-ring promo on Monday Night Raw, basically throwing out an open challenge for WrestleMania. And he said Brock Lesnar is going to be on 5 Monday Night Raw episodes before WrestleMania. Come and step up. We're going to be waiting. I know a lot of people are waiting on one particular person to answer that open challenge, and we'll talk about that person later on in this episode. But yeah, I think they're planting seeds for a lot of different things just as contingency plans in case something can't happen.
Yeah, agreed.
Sure.
But you guys had the same feeling that the opening segment was just okay, right?
Yeah,
Just okay.
yeah,
It was a little hokey, but it's always cool to see Seth Rollins. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like you guys said,
Obviously, you hear the crowd. You hear the crowd. The crowd reacts to
Yeah,
Seth
they were
Rollins.
chanting, "Holy shit!" They were like psyched about it.
They love it. They love seeing Seth Rollins. From every time that he comes back, he's featured in like a big story somehow, some way. So
Yep.
it's always, like you said, good to see him.
He's earned it.
I said he's a draw on Twitter, and people came at me, but the numbers don't lie when it comes to how they put him into big prominent storylines. The numbers with him as world heavyweight champion at the top, that's a different story. But Seth Rollins is a top guy, incredible talent, and I'm glad to see him back on television weekly again.
I would argue babyface Seth Rollins is better than heel Seth Rollins.
I have to agree now. Although Seth Rollins has done some of his greatest work in his career as a heel, I think the crowd connects with him more as a babyface.
Yeah,
which is why even when he was a heel, his music would play and they're singing his damn song.
Right.
So it's like, I do agree that I think Seth Rollins is better when it comes to the crowd as a babyface, but his best work in his career has been as a heel.
So far.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can do. He is where he is, and he's treated as such because he is versatile. His work ethic, his versatility as a character. He's been a great bad guy. He's been a great good guy. And when you think all the way back to the Shield, I feel like nobody expected him to be the one that turned. I think everybody was expecting it to be Ambrose Moxley, and they went with Rollins, and it was like, oh, and he really,
it was a shock.
he really. And then you realize right away that it was like, oh, this guy's a guy too, and then, but yeah, he's great.
100%. So then we segue from the opening segment to a backstage segment where Jackie Redmond runs up to the Usos, tries to get a word with them about that, word about what CM Punk said last week to Roman Reigns, which, if you didn't watch Monday Night Raw last week and see what CM Punk said to Roman Reigns, go and look at that clip on social media because, it's definitely, it got real personal real fast last week. And
it sure did.
That's only the beginning. But pretty much the Usos were ready to leave. Jackie asked the question to them, and they're like, you know what? We got to go say something to CM Punk. So they went and looked for CM Punk, which happens later on in the show in the main event segment. We'll talk about that later on. The first match of the night tonight, we get the Women's Intercontinental Championship #1 Contenders Gauntlet match between Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, Bayley, and Asuka. So we start out this match with Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria. Fantastic graphic.
Tremendous.
So good. That was the best way that they could have started this match with those two.
Yes.
I loved it. At the end of the day, Io Sky gets the victory over Lyra Valkyria to move on in the gauntlet match. Then we have what is it? The big mommy cool Raquel Rodriguez.
Love Raquel.
Love Raquel. She's so good. She's so good now. I'm very impressed with her in-ring work. But she comes in, she starts dominating. Her and Io get into it. You have her fellow Judgment Day member and 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Liv Morgan, come in and try and cause a distraction, but it backfires because Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer comes out, gets into a brawl with Liv. They go to the back, and Io Sky picks up the win over Raquel Rodriguez to move on in the gauntlet match. After that, though, Raquel beats down Io and beats her down and beats her down and beats her down. And out comes Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile comes out, takes advantage, pins Io Sky 1, 2, 3.
I was completely shocked by that. I thought Io was, even though she got a big beatdown, I thought Io was running this thing. And I thought that Io was going to kick out there. That actually shocked me, but I loved it.
That's a good thing, though. Ivy Nile is a fantastic talent who gets overlooked a lot. I think it's great that she was featured in this match, picking up a win, even in the circumstances that it happened. Picking up a win over a top star like Io Sky right there is fantastic. You have that happen, and then out comes Bayley. Bayley comes out as the next entrant in the gauntlet match. Of course, she's coming out. She looks at Io Sky, checks on Io Sky. Ivy Nile attacks her. They get into it. They have a little nice back and forth in the ring. Get the Bayley to belly, and then Bayley pins Ivy Nile to eliminate her. You have Bayley and Asuka as the final two in this match. A lot of chemistry between the two of them. I saw a lot of people say they wish Io and Asuka were going to go at it in this match. There's a reason there.
Let it breathe, baby.
There's a reason it didn't happen. Keep letting it go. The match finishes. You have Kairi Sane getting involved on the outside, which leads to the Bird Lady coming back out, taking out Kairi Sane, getting involved, and Bayley picks up the win with the Rose Plant over Asuka. 1, 2, 3. Bayley wins the women's gauntlet match and is now the number one contender for the women's Intercontinental Championship. With that win, she will now face one of her idols, AJ Lee, next week in San Antonio on Monday Night Raw for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. What did you guys think of this entire gauntlet match, and what do you think about Bayley being the winner to go on to face AJ Lee?
Yeah, I liked this gauntlet match a lot. I thought they did a really good job. I'm a big Lyra guy. I would have loved to have seen her go, a little bit longer, but once it was matched up with Io, I kind of knew what was happening. But I thought this was really good. I thought literally every woman in this match looked good and looked strong in this match. I thought, like you said, Io and Lyra were the perfect pair to start. They gave them the longest time because they were going to go. I love how we're going to, we can continue to go with Raquel and Io in that direction. I think that would be a nice little feud I would like for Io if that's where they're going with her and Raquel. I thought they made Ivy Nile look great. I thought the little match she had with Bayley was good. And then you get Asuka and Bayley at the end. And I'm happy for Bayley. I'm happy for AJ. This is a match that they both wanted for a very long time. And this is a match that Bayley's probably wanted her whole life. And so the fact that she gets to have that match, which I hope it would be awesome if they main evented Raw next week. I doubt it, but it would be awesome if they did. But I'm excited for that match. Bayley's my GOAT. So I'm never going to be upset when Bayley wins anything. But I liked every woman in this. I would have been perfectly okay with any outcome.
That's exactly how I felt. I think every woman in this match did what they needed to do. They all had their moments to shine in this match. I think I would have been happy with any of them. But Bayley getting her dream match against AJ Lee, I think that's the one that we really, really wanted to see.
Yeah. I love gauntlet matches. I think if you need 45 minutes to kill, throw in a gauntlet match with some of your best superstars and you'll get magic every time. I haven't seen a gauntlet match like in the past few years that hasn't wowed me, and this was no different. And I think Bayley was the right winner. I could have seen Bayley versus AJ at WrestleMania. So the fact that we're getting it on free TV on Raw next week, hopefully, Cory, you'll maybe know whether Becky plans on getting involved or not. That could spoil the match for some of us. But I think even getting the match on a Raw is great. I think everybody looked great in this match. I could watch Bayley and Asuka fight forever. Mm-hmm. I think those two have really great chemistry. I thought it was a really good match, and most importantly, it makes me excited for next week, which is always what you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You wanna be able to tune into something. That's what TV's for every single week. That's why they work 52 weeks a year. You want to be able to look forward to something. And like you said, Nick, having this Women's Intercontinental Championship match on free television on Netflix next week is perfect. It's a WrestleMania worthy match happening on a weekly episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm really, really looking forward to this one.
Yep, I am too. It should be great.
All right. So after the women's gauntlet match, during the commercial break, Byron Saxton does an interview with Natty on the stage in front of the crowd. Natty starts talking about how she grew up as Natty. She came out of the heart dungeon as Natty. Mm-hmm. She did all this, and then she lost herself and became Natalya. But she's Natty right now, and she deserves the respect that she should be getting, and this and that. She talks about putting Maxine Dupree in the hospital, and then what do you know? Maxine Dupree shows up and beats her ass and attacks her from behind, and they get into it before we come back from commercial break. this was just another throw-in segment to further whatever they have going on with these two, because their first two encounters in the ring were throwaways.
Yeah.
Throwaways. So these two are far from done, it looks like. This segment didn't really do anything for me, but I do really enjoy the Natty character. I think WWE should let her step into the Natty character more like she does on the independent scene when she was working it. When she was working NWA, working blood sport, doing all the different things she was doing. I think WWE should incorporate that a little bit more into it. I wouldn't doubt if they did a blood sport type of match between the two of these women. I think that would be pretty cool to see. They've been training that type of way in the Dungeon 2.0. Despite Natty saying that she's kicked Maxine out of there, they definitely do some great training in Dungeon 2.0. So I would like to see some kind of gimmick match between the two of them, not just a straight up wrestling match. I think that would work. What do you guys think about Natty and Maxine's program?
I have the Poor People Netflix, so I didn't see this segment when it aired. So I don't really have an opinion on what happened this week. I am full on Natty. Like let her be Natty, let her fight, let her wrestle, let her. It's great that we have a non-title women's feud going on, and we kind of have a few of them because we've got that going on. We've got whatever's going on with Bailey. We've got Asuka. We've got a lot of different stories going on with the women as we should, and that's great. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I thought this was fine. Again, it happened during. I know it happened during a commercial segment, so there's a good amount of people that didn't see it until they kind of showed the quick little recap.
Yeah,
I like this. I think they did a really good job building Maxine up with the Becky feud, and it's led into this and blended into this really nicely. I would love to see a dungeon match or some sort of whatever type of match they want to do. I'd love to see it make it on the Mania card, to be honest with you. I think that would be cool. I do think we are going to get a lot of women's matches this Mania go round, like more than we usually expect, which is a great thing.
100%. That's set in stone. 100%.
Yeah. So that's happening. Yeah, I mean, this was okay. I mean, this was just something to get us to the next big thing. Like this was like a minor thing, so but it was fun.
So then we segue into the next segment on the show that's actually aired, and it's everybody's favorite, very nice, very evil, Danhausen. Danhausen has a backstage segment with the original El Grande Americano, and the OG El Grande Americano has no idea what the hell he's saying in Spanish. He's just putting words out there. Danhausen puts a curse on him, and he's supposed to have a Intercontinental Championship match next. If you recall last week, Danhausen put a curse on Dominic Mysterio, which led to him losing the Intercontinental Championship. But lurking in the background of this segment was Bravo and Rayo Americano. They were lurking in the background. So they're doing the work for the other El Grande Americano. And then we get, what did you think of this backstage segment? What do you think of Danhausen so far in WWE?
Okay. I liked the debut in Chicago, but I know who Danhausen is. I've been a fan of Danhausen for for years. I thought it was hokey, but I know the character. I thought it was a cool debut. Do I think it was the best debut WWE could have planned for him? No, I do not. However, since we have seen him 3 times now on the weekly television shows, they are knocking it out of the park 100%. With Danhausen, which is what I thought would happen. I thought it was a home run of a signing. I think it's going to continue to just be entertaining and even get better, I feel like, as it goes. He's making money. He's going to sell a
number one and number 2 best-selling T-shirt on WWE Shop.
So, and that's who he's going to be.
I'm just waiting on them to start selling his dolls on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, do the plushies, do the dolls. You'll sell 1 billion of them.
I'm just waiting on it. I'm going to get money. I'm going to get me one.
Yeah, he's money. He's funny. He gets it. This is working perfectly. He's undefeated in curses.
Well, yeah, we'll get into his curse tonight in a little bit.
Yeah, and again, I love that whole thing. I love the way that Rayo, and I love how they showed up with like Pete Dunne. But he was at the top, and then you saw the other guy was like had his head sideways, so it looked like it was like a creepy little, you would think like like an old comedy with the creepy guys in the back or something like that. I like that in the way they were walking back there. Yeah, it was I thought that was a nice little touch.
Very good touch in the backstage segment.
Yeah,
what'd you think, Nick? So. What have you thought about Danhausen?
Man, oh man, I am a Danhausen. I cannot tell you. I was a fan of Danhausen in AEW. I was a fan of Danhausen before AEW. I think his brand of humor, it must just be like my brand of humor because he's very he's very subtle a lot of the times. Like there was something he said last week with Miz, I think, where Miz was like making fun of him and calling him a goth kid, and just like almost under his breath, Danhausen was like, "I was a jock. I was the prom king."
Yeah.
And I think that is so funny. He's great at these backstage interactions. We showed him later in the crowd, and the crowd loves him. Like they'll
I'll get into that one too. We'll talk about that a little bit
I
bit
think
later.
He's great. I think he if we don't have R-Truth, we've got Danhausen, and that's more than enough comedy.
Yeah, Danhausen has been a home run hire for them. I think they knew what they were getting when they hired him. Dave Meltzer made a report about his hiring not being unanimous, but a hiring's never unanimous. You're never going to get everybody that likes a person, but when you get the majority and you have a majority of the brass that want to bring this person
on your team, vouching for you,
the world heavyweight champion, yeah. 100%. And then before AEW extended his contract, WWE wanted him as far as July of last year, so. He was coming in regardless, and I think, like you said, JPJ, and the 3 TV appearances that he's had since he Elimination Chamber debut, they've hit it out of the park with him so far.
Absolutely.
So then we get Penta, the new Intercontinental Champion, coming out. He cuts a promo, thanking everybody, starts talking. He got the point across, very much so. Everybody was cheering him. Then you hear a different theme song. You hear Olay. Mm-hmm. And you're like, huh? What? This is not original El Grande Americano. This is the so-called imposter. And Penta's telling the referee, he's like, what is this? Is not who I granted an Intercontinental Championship match to. What's going on here? But then Penta obliged. Penta and this El Grande Americano have a match for the Intercontinental Championship. Very good match. 2 great workers in that ring. Penta, the way Penta finished this match, the springboard, holy hell. Yeah, holy hell. Oh my goodness. Springboard Destroyer gets the 1, 2, 3, wins the match. Wow. Such a great worker. I'm glad he got a championship now. It's long overdue, well deserved from Penta. What did you guys think of the okie doke with original El Grande Americano not showing up and how that happened? And what did you think of this match?
I thought it was weird that they didn't really explain. All of a sudden we've got a different El Grande Americano wrestling, but I think the best thing they can do, I think, for Danhausen's character is have his curses keep coming true. That gives him power, really.
100%.
And so, it sucks that it happened. I was looking forward to the match between Penta and Chad Gable, but there's a time for that. There's a time and a place. We'll get it eventually.
The sacred fella underneath the mask.
I thought the match itself was really good. I think put Penta in there with any of the 3 of them, and you'll have a great match. Put Penta in the ring with anybody, period, and you'll have a great match. So I thought this was a solid first defense. I think it was a really great opportunity for Penta with his interview segment beforehand. I think he was really passionate and he connects with the crowd.
Reminded me of his debut on Raw, where he cut that very passionate promo. It was like the same thing. He was very passionate, thanking his family, thanking the friends, saying, "This is my era. It's time to take over." It pretty much reminded me of the same thing. And anytime Penta does anything, he's going to do it to the best of his ability. And I think Penta is one of the best wrestlers in the entire world.
Yeah, I can't wait to get done with this video so I can go play as Penta in WWE 2K26.
Oh yeah, I have that. I have that as well. Yes,
I do as well.
Fantastic game so far. I'm enjoying. I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, the match was great. We knew the match would be great. I am so happy that Penta is just such a star, man. Like and like you could like that promo, like you can tell how much he's enjoying what he's doing and how much like he feels good about what he's done to get here, and you can just tell he's really living in the moment, and it comes through. And I don't speak fluent Spanish. I didn't understand most of what he was saying, but you can just, it doesn't matter, you can just tell how much he loves where he's at right now. And he's worked his ass off for a long time to get. I could not be happier for that guy.
If you've been on social media in the last few days, you might have seen the video.
A little kid,
little Penta, little Penta selling the candy to try and get a Penta action figure, and Penta met him in Penta's gym in Mexico. He gave him 2 action figures, let him hold the title. They hung out for a little bit. Little Penta was surprised, couldn't even tell it was Penta. He was so shocked. It was adorable. Penta connects with everybody, not just kids. He connects with the audience everywhere. And like you said, I'm glad he's at where he's at. You can tell he's having a lot of fun right now in the position that he's in. I just can't wait to see what he's going to do next.
Me too. I agree. And yeah, the match was great, but this was good stuff. Yeah, man, very good stuff. I knew he was going to be over, but I think even me, I didn't think he'd be this over, and he was this over immediately.
He's the superhero the first show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly look at him and I'm like, this is the real chance of having like their biggest Hispanic star, luchador, whatever, since Ray. Like, this is the guy. This is the guy.
Yeah, I think they have quite a few now in the company. I think
Dragon Lee, Ray Phoenix. They got
his brother definitely needs to make the move soon to go join him. I think it's overdue, but for now, let Penta enjoy this run as Intercontinental Champion. He deserves the championship. It's been a good year for him so far in WWE. So for now, we'll just take in and soak in the championship that he has.
That being said, give me the Lucha Brothers versus the Usos on any show, and I'll give you
Lucha Brothers versus New Day.
Give me Lucha Bros versus anybody.
Yeah, anybody. Like, just give it to me.
We saw what they were capable of on the independent scene. We saw what they did in AEW together. So many great matchups that we can still get in WWE when they do that reunion. It sucks that their reunion in AAA was not able to come to fruition because of Penta's injury that he suffered against Solo Sikoa in the last time is now tournament. But we're definitely going to see it sooner rather than later. So I'm looking forward to that when it does happen.
That was maybe a blessing in disguise, because now they can really kind of build up the reunion and have it be a big thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Before we get on to the next segment, I want to go ahead and plug NordVPN. NordVPN.com/Bodyslam. Protect your connection like a champ with NordVPN. At Bodyslam.net, we know the importance of staying protected, whether you're in the ring or online. That's why we've partnered with NordVPN, the undisputed heavyweight champion of internet security, to bring our readers an exclusive deal. Unlock major savings and keep your data safe from hackers, trackers, and snooping ISPs, all while streaming content securely from anywhere in the world. NordVPN.com/Bodyslam. Code Bodyslam for an exclusive deal with NordVPN.
I feel like there's got to be something we can do with protection and raw dogs, right? There's a joke.
maybe we come
Figure it out for next
year.
Maybe we come up with something that we can run.
And
but NordVPN is the VPN that I use every single week to watch WWE shows on Netflix. It runs perfectly smoothly. I'm able to watch them with no problem. I don't have to watch on the CW. I don't have to watch on USA Network. I don't get commercials. I get to watch matches all the way through while they're on commercials in the United States. So I really do enjoy having a VPN. I would really recommend it. So if you can, go ahead and get NordVPN with the code Bodyslam.
Yeah. And for any AEW fans out there, they released a little bit of a thing today for international people, and it's $120 annually, and you get all the pay-per-views. So if you don't use a VPN and you live in the States, that's $50 a pop. You get the VPN, NordVPN/Bodyslam. You're saving yourself a boatload of money if you want to go that route as well. So.
Yeah, you saw the different tiers that they have available now there, which I'll be tapping into that as well, because you get, not only do you get AEW weekly television,
Ring of Honor,
you get Ring of Honor, and you get the pay-per-views for both of them. So I will be tapping into that, and it's an incredible deal right there. I'll be tapping into that as well, utilizing NordVPN. 100%. Now, going back to Monday Night Raw, we get a vignette with Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer, where she addressed what Liv Morgan said in her vignette last week. It got a lot of backlash online for what she said last week. I don't think it was that bad, what Liv Morgan said, but at the same time, it did cross a boundary. But she's a heel, so I understand at the end of the day, she's a heel.
She's a heel.
She's talking her shit. She said, "Yes, I am privileged. It's not my fault I got signed by WWE and I got to train here for the last 10 years while you were working in these nasty places and trying to make your way here. That's not my fault." Stephanie Vaquer goes and answers her and basically says, "Yeah, you are. I respect it, but you're still a bitch. You're still a bitch." and I'm going to show you. So I really enjoyed the two vignettes that they've done recently for the two of them. They've been giving them a build kind of like that, along with that brawl to the backstage tonight during the Gauntlet match. What did you guys think of the Stephanie Vaquer vignette tonight?
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought both the recorded things. I thought the thing, obviously, the sit down with Liv a few weeks ago was excellent. I thought this was also excellent. I like when they let Stephanie talk in her native language. I think you can feel how how confident she is when she's talking in her own native, and it's just, this was excellent. This was really good. I agree with you, Cory. Liv Morgan is a shithead heel. You know what shithead heels say? Bad shit that hurts your feelings. That's what they do. She's a bad person. Like it's okay sometimes to say. CM Punk will get into. He said a bad thing last week too, and that was a dickhead move. All right, like people say bad.
It's wrestling. It's a scripted. It's a scripted thing. So
it's all right. It's okay that that happens from time to time. Not everything has to be this big. Oh, it's pro wrestling, bro. But I liked it a lot. I like this feud. I'm looking forward to this match. And I think when they do stuff like this with Stephanie, I feel like this is a strong, I just feel like this is kind of her wheelhouse.
You connect with her more when she's able to be herself and bring out her personality, which a lot of people have been asking WWE to let her do, because they've kind of been doing this thing where she's rarely been featured and this and that. So I think this vignette really strongly showcased her. And like you said, let her speak her native language along with English, going back and forth between the two of them. It's a good way to connect with not only the Spanish-speaking fans, but also the English-speaking fans as well.
Agreed.
What I'm really liking is that save for Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the three big world title matches are really personal. Like these people, like you can tell in character, at least, they don't like each other, and you want to just see them fight. And I think that's great.
I think you could say all four world title matches are personal, if you get what I'm saying. I think you could say all four are personal, because at the end of the day, a lot of them do have real animosity for each other, because they all want to be at the top of the food chain. but at the same time, they know how to be professionals and work together. So yeah, I definitely enjoy when they toe the line between real and work. I like when they go between the shoot and work. It works really well. It connects with the audience. So I definitely did enjoy what these two have done the last 2 weeks with their vignettes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So we segue from the vignette straight into the Judgment Day clubhouse backstage. You get the Judgment Day back there, but there's no Finn Bálor. Finn Bálor is clearly absent from the Judgment Day back there after what happened last week on Monday Night Raw, where Finn Bálor stopped JD McDonough from helping Dominic Mysterio during the match against Penta, which resulted in Dominic dropping the Intercontinental Championship. Everybody's back there. They talk. Dom's like, "Where's Finn? Does anybody know where Finn's at?" They're like, "No, I got something I got to say to him." JD's like, "I'm going to go and try and find Finn." Dom's like, "Well, I'm going to go to the ring. I got some things I got to get off my chest." So he goes out to the ring. We get this. That's going to be the next segment. But before that, we get a commercial break. And the commercial break, you mentioned it earlier, Danhausen. Danhausen comes out. He makes an appearance. He cuts a promo, and he throws out free merchandise to the crowd, which one person got the majority of the merchandise, I think, because he threw like 7 shirts at one person.
That's hilarious.
But he definitely got over with the crowd. You could tell they popped when his music hit, when he came out. He told them, "If you didn't get free merchandise from me tonight, then go to WWE shop and buy my shirts, or you are cursed." So he's definitely getting over with the crowd. A lot of people I see are changing their tone with him. It's so much fun.
He's got such an easy gig too. He's over. He hasn't had to take one bump. He hasn't had to take one move, and
he's got it made. He's got it made. So
yeah, and the crowd is finishing like, "You are cursed," and the crowd is saying it with them. And dude, the guy's gonna be over his rover.
He's made for WWE.
Yeah, like
he's absolutely made for WWE. So yeah, good on him for making that career decision, and good on him for connecting with the crowd after that Elimination Chamber debut. But we come back from commercial, and the Judgment Day make their entrance to come to the ring without JD McDonough, without Finn Bálor. Dominic Mysterio cuts a promo. He says that he wants Finn. Did Finn get him a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship? He wants a rematch. Finn Balor's music hits, and here comes Finn Bálor and JD McDonough. Dominic and Finn talk on the mic a little bit. Dom asks him, "Did you go to Pierce and get me a rematch?" Finn says, "I respect, but I'm starting to see what your dad's saying. You're entitled, little." and that really
why did they edit this out? Why did they edit out prick?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was bizarre. Anyway.
Yeah, so they go through that. He calls him entitled. They get into it. Dom shoves Finn. Does not sit well with Finn. Finn is turned around, hits the Pele kick on Dom, knocks Dom on his ass. Finn gets ready to go after Dom again and gets taken down by JD McDonough. JD McDonough takes out his boy. His boy is now, and the Judgment Day have officially turned their backs on Finn Bálor. Babyface Finn Bálor is officially here. They complete the beatdown. They beat the hell out of Finn Bálor. You get a 619 with a hammer in the boots. You get a frog splash, and then you get the Judgment Day standing over Finn Bálor to end the segment. What did you guys think about the segment as a whole, and what do you think about Finn Bálor now no longer being in the Judgment Day and getting a babyface run finally?
This was my favorite part of the show. I thought this was the thing I enjoyed the most on the whole show. It's been a long time coming. I felt like we were building to this for a while, but this was really good. When JD McDonough hit him with that lariat, I was legitimately like, "Oh shit!" I didn't think it was going to be JD.
That's the one you didn't think was going to happen.
No, not at all. And with it being McDonough, I was like, "Oh wow, all right." And then all 4 of them just beat the ever-loving hell out of him. And I think that's what he needed. Nobody coming out to like just him taking it, and he's going to be a top of the card babyface like next week.
Yeah,
like immediately.
You look at his reaction as the Judgment Day are walking up the ramp, and you could tell what's coming out of him. It's not the regular Finn Bálor. You could tell what they're gonna unleash.
Oh, we're getting it.
You could see it. They mentioned it a little bit, and I think this was a perfect way to execute. Finally, after all the teasing and all the months of us wondering when the hell the trigger is going to get pulled for somebody to get kicked out of Judgment Day, this was the perfect way for it to go. What did you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, Finn Bálor, so he's been one of my favorite wrestlers since 2013. You know, I think he's been vastly underrated since his debut on the main roster. I think he totally got screwed by God or the universe or whomever. He got injured in his SummerSlam title match, and I've been waiting for him to kind of hit that high ever since. And this wasn't quite that, but it was close. I mean, I'm psyched that he's now officially a babyface again. I think that him versus Dom will be a great WrestleMania match, especially if he lets his inner demons take over.
DMN, FBLR.
Yeah. I thought it was a great segment. I thought it made Dom and JD look vicious. I'm surprised that they cut the cord on JD and Finn already. I thought that was something they could have played out for a week or two.
I think it makes sense though, because you wanted the shock factor, because you knew eventually the rest of them were going to turn their backs on him. You didn't think that JD being trained by Finn Bálor and him being a mentor to him for 2 decades would do this, but it brought a little bit of a shock factor to it. And then you got to remember that Roxanne Perez is currently out of action on the outside. So now what direction do they go with her too? Once she comes back, who does she side with? So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Like you said, Nick, I'm very, very happy that he is now a babyface fully. They've been tapping into it since December. He cut a babyface promo. Then, of course, he had his babyface entrance when he made his return to Ireland, where he had the World Heavyweight Championship match. Ever since then, Catch Your Breath has been back on WWE television. He's been doing all the babyface mannerisms. And then, of course, when he lost to CM Punk at Elimination Chamber, they showed each other respect. A lot of stuff. You could tell that was the full babyface turn there. And then when Dom was like, I'm going to need you guys at ringside, Finn's like, okay. You're going to have to do it yourself, though, because you weren't there for me. I'm not going to be there for you. So you could tell that it was coming, and I'm glad they finally pulled the trigger, and Finn is going to be positioned as a top babyface now again.
Do you guys think they made the right decision going with a babyface Finn and a heel Dom? Because it wasn't too long ago that Dom was kind of a babyface on his own. But
the crowd, if they would have done it a year ago, it would have made sense to have Dom be the babyface and Finn be the heel. But now that they did it in the way that they've been building this Judgment Day breakup, yes, it makes sense. They've been going after Finn. If they did it a year ago, Finn was the mastermind behind everything, and Finn was belittling every single member of the Judgment Day. But now that they did it, Dom was the mastermind while Finn was gone, and then Finn was doing his own thing while Dom was injured a little bit, and you could tell that it was, and now was the right time for them to do it, to set up this match for WrestleMania. Although kind of upset that they pulled the trigger to not have it be for the Intercontinental Championship. But at the same time, like we said, I'm happy for Penta. I'm glad Penta's got a direction for him going into Mania. And now we've got this blood feud going into Mania between Dominic Mysterio and Finn Bálor.
Yeah, it spreads the wealth a little bit, I think, with the title kind of not being in it, because now it's like Penta can do his own thing.
More stories.
The title's over here has its own story, but we're doing this still 100%. Over here, which is good. This is gonna be this is gonna be a great little non-title singles match feud at Mania, which I feel like we've gotten accustomed to. Not a ton of those on either side of the coin. I feel like at Mania there's going to be a lot of personal,
a lot of grudge matches.
Yes, and I that feels good to me.
Because you'll have some with the title involved, obviously, some grudge matches with the title involved, but having these opportunities to have other matches without the title involved with a big story going, like they have this, like you mentioned earlier, the women are going to be showcased heavily on this WrestleMania. The report from WrestleVotes last week on Fightful Select that there's at least 5 women's matches penciled in, with people thinking at least 6 now. I think there could be more. I think we're going to get half the card being the women's division. They have a hell of a thing going. I think they should be showcased. There's lots of stories brewing both on Raw and SmackDown with the women. I think that almost every woman in the division this year should be showcased, whether that's in a title match, a tag team match, or a blood feud. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next 5 weeks. But yeah, this feud between Finn and Dom, I'm excited to see where we're going in the next 5 weeks now that Finn has officially been kicked out of Judgment Day.
Me too.
So we go from that segment to a backstage segment with Adam Pearce and Javon Evans. Adam Pearce basically tells Javon Evans that he's got the week off. You don't got to do nothing this week. Don't have to wrestle. And he's like, okay, cool. Okay. And he gets interrupted by Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston. Grayson Waller starts yelling, raising his voice at Javon Evans. We didn't forget what you did in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. Kofi Kingston's like, chill. I got this. Let me and him talk for a minute. So he tells Grayson Waller to go away. Kofi Kingston shares a little moment with Javon Evans. He says, we didn't get off on the right foot. Offset did his thing in Atlanta. It was pretty much he took it too far. We got into this, but you and I, we can do business together. And he pretty much handshake. He gives himself a handshake. A handshake, and he leaves Javon Evans there thinking.
Self high five, as my friend Dallas Page says.
The question now is, could this be leaning into Kofi Kingston becoming a mentor for Javon Evans and leaning back into the babyface side? Who knows? Kind of hinted at it right there, but we'll see where this story plays out. What do you guys think about Javon Evans' work so far since he came up to the main roster? And what do you think about the direction for him, especially since last week he said he has his eyes on the Intercontinental Championship now?
I think you can put Javon Evans anywhere on the card and he'll stop the show. I think literally tomorrow you could give me Kofi Kingston versus Javon Evans, and that's a WrestleMania match. Like, that's, probably they'll have Kofi mentor him. Maybe not. Maybe it does just go right to a feud. Could go to a multi-man match for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania that Javon Evans is a part of. Anywhere he's a part, he's going to shine. And I think he's been great so far. I'm excited. It's really, really cool to see how much young talent is on both rosters.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that a little bit after this too, because we got another one that we've got to talk about in the match after this. But yeah, it's great to see Javon Evans, 21 years old, what he's done already and what he's going to do, the way that he's being featured prominently so far.
100%. Kid's a stud, and he's shown up and he's immediately over. You want to root for him. He has fun out there, and I think it's that energy just radiates off of him and it radiates to the crowd. Kids love him, adults love him. Like, yeah, I think Oba and Trick are a little further along as far as like heading to the main event go right now. But all three of them are no-brainers, and this kid is 21. 100%. He's going to be doing this for a long time, and it's crazy to think, but he's going to get better.
Yeah,
he's going to get better.
Yeah, you saw that. You mentioned the other two guys as well. I think this might be the best batch of NXT call-ups that they've done together ever.
I think it's easily the best way that
I'm going to say that right now. Yes, I'm going to say the way that they brought them up, all three of them from December until now, perfect. Yeah. And you mentioned, we talked about Javon Evans only being 21 years old. You have another 21-year-old sensation out there wrestling right now, the TNA X Division champion, Leon Slater. Fightful Select had a story today about him and why he hasn't been doing independence. And what he's doing is basically preserving his body. He's in a contract year. I'm fairly confident that once that TNA contract expires, he's making the move to WWE, and he's going to be on the same level as Javon, Trick, and Oba, and we're going to have four guys that are there solidifying the future of WWE moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So we move on from that segment with Javon and Kofi to a backstage interview with Jackie Redmond, Bailey, and Lyra Valkyria. Jackie asked Bayley how she feels about her match next week against AJ Lee. Bayley's excited for it. Bayley says she's sorry, AJ, but she's got to win the title. This is the one that has eluded her. She hasn't won this title yet. And when she does win it, she give Lyra Valkyria a shot at the championship. So it looks like we're getting a direction with these two, whether that be in the Intercontinental Championship picture or elsewhere. It looks like Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are going to be featured as well moving into WrestleMania, which is good. Bayley being featured this year, moving into Mania. She was featured last year moving into Mania, but obviously you know what they did. You know the angle they ran to bring Becky Lynch back, and it kind of left Bayley off of there. Left a lot of sour taste in fans' mouths. I think they go full circle this year, and they have Lyra and Bayley go and challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. That would be a full circle moment for them since it was supposed to happen last year. So I think that's the direction they go. But I think this interview got the job done. It put the point over, and I'm more excited for Bayley versus AJ Lee next week. What about you guys?
Whatever happened to AJ or to Bayley's like bipolar?
It's still there. She has to tap into it. Like if Lyra slaps her in the face, it triggers the other personality. Yeah. So it has to be triggered. It looks like it's not something that can just come out. It's like a two-face thing that she's got going on. It has to be triggered. There's ways to trigger her. I think the biggest way though is Lyra Valkyria slapping her. So we've seen it happen multiple times. When Lyra slaps her in the face, it triggers Bayley going psycho. So I think it's still there. I think that's the direction they need to go because WWE was talking about leaning into a heavier kind of take what I want presence with Lyra Valkyria. I think they kind of need to. When they're going into Mania, they want a story. They need something. They're going to go into Mania and do whatever it takes to get championships. So I think they need to go that direction for both of them, not just Bayley. Yeah.
Do we think maybe Bayley loses on Monday and Lyra turns on her? Is that a possibility?
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think what happens is she loses. You're obviously going to get Becky coming after the Intercontinental Championship again. You're going to get Becky going after AJ, which was a solidified WrestleMania match that they had penciled in. I think that's the direction they're still going. Becky hasn't been seen since she lost the Intercontinental Championship. So I think maybe next week, you asked about it earlier, I think we do see her. I think we see her in some capacity where after AJ Lee successfully defends the title against Bayley, she comes back and they set up their WrestleMania match.
Sure.
I think, and that's when I think that Bayley and Lyra are like, well, now we don't have a title here. What are we going to do? We have to make our own way to WrestleMania. We're going to force our way there. So I think that's the direction they're going to end up going.
Yeah. And I'm being on that. I love both these girls. So these are my girls. Yeah. I Lyra to me is one of the best inside the ring they have in that whole company. In the world, in that whole company. I love Lyra and Bayley, like we've talked about earlier. My goat. So I'm all in for it. I'm all in for them making a tag title run and really, like you said, coming full circle. I'd even love it if they won them at Mania. I need that route.
I need that. Yeah. And then you get Bayley and Lyra versus a twin duo that said that they had their sights set on the tag team championships as well, which they're going to be in a match at WrestleMania too. So I think I would love to see Bayley and Lyra go up against the Bella Twins at some point.
Agreed.
So we go from that interview to Darula Oba Femi. Goodness, what a presence this guy has,
brother.
Holy hell, they got the whole package right here.
You can't. This ain't waiting around. Like this guy needs to be the quickest person to ever win a world championship being called up ever. Yeah, he needs to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He needs to win. Whatever you need to do. Undeniable.
It's the way that they're pushing him is exactly how he should be pushed. This match with Rusev, this was his first feud on the main roster, like real feud that they've gone 3 weeks of segments before they had the match. I think this was a good way to solidify him beating a powerhouse and veteran like Rusev in the way that he did, because Rusev dominated the majority of this match. He was beating the hell out of Oba Femi. Then all of a sudden, one bad move, Oba gets control, and he puts your ass down. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi, good Lord. Oba Femi, like you said, JPJ, Oba Femi needs to be in that picture now. And we mentioned it earlier, the open challenge for WrestleMania. This is the man that needs to answer it, and he needs to beat the shit out of that man.
Yes, he does.
He needs to beat the shit out of that man.
Did you imagine Oba Femi squashing Brock Lesnar?
He needs to.
That's what it needs to be.
He needs to.
Maybe instantly.
Yeah, like maybe give Brock a move right at the beginning or something like that, but then it's
Picture this. Danhausen curses Brock Lesnar, which leads to Oba Femi beating the shit out of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Remember how Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series in like a minute, and everyone was that's what Oba needs. That's what needs to happen.
Absolutely.
Like
the fans, WWE knows the fans want it. They hear the noise. It's been reported by multiple outlets that WWE is aware. It was a match that has been talked about with no clear direction for Gunther, Oba, or Brock yet. You definitely could put these two together, and that would make magic. I really think that is the direction they need to go, and that would only elevate Oba further to the next level of the main event picture.
And Brock could almost instantly get his heat back. I mean, you mentioned Danhausen. Maybe he does curse him, and then the Monday after WrestleMania, Lesnar just beats the shit out of Danhausen. Bam, he's got his.
They have a lot of directions that they can go. Obviously, the Wrestling Observer reported that Brock Lesnar and LA Knight was a disgusting match. The only thing that I've seen that has hinted at that is LA Knight taking Paul Heyman out in the ambulance. Other than that, I've seen nothing that points towards anything. Whereas these interviews and these social media interactions that Oba Femi has had, all he talks about is Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. He knows where to find me. It's sooner rather than later. We're going to have that matchup. I don't think they teased it in the Royal Rumble for that little bit of time just for them to not pull the trigger and do something. I think that's the direction they need to go, and that would only solidify Oba, and that would get all of the allegations out of the way quickly. You need to squash Brock Lesnar, have Oba Femi go over. I think that's the way that they need to truly go with 4 weeks now of television left until WrestleMania for him.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so then we get the rundown for next week. Obviously, Brock Lesnar's returning after a few weeks. You get AJ Lee versus Bayley next week. You get original El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano after they face off this weekend at Rey de Reyes in the Fatal 4-Way match for the sword to become number one contender for the AAA Mega Championship. And then Roman Reigns is returning next week. So that's the rundown for next week. Looking like a pretty good show in San Antonio, Texas. And then, like reported on the Bodyslam Plus Patreon, which is scrolling below now, the main event segment tonight was World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk coming out and cutting a promo, talking to the fans. He mentioned something about he didn't know if the fans were going to cheer him tonight because of what he said last week to Roman Reigns, which if you don't know, he basically said he's going to bury Roman Reigns next to his dead father. That is as personal as you can get. That is as personal as you can get. And I, along with other people, as soon as that segment was over, said the only way for Roman to get right back at Punk is to go after Larry.
You got to talk about
after Larry. That is CM Punk's number one. And with Larry passing recently and CM Punk recently getting a Larry Paul tattoo, I think that is something that he has to mention next week while beating CM Punk to a bloody pulp. I think that's what they need to do for that. But CM Punk talks about this, and then he gets interrupted by the World Tag Team Champions, the Usos. As we mentioned earlier in our show, the Usos said that they've got something to say to CM Punk. Jey Uso is heated coming after him. He said, apologize now, apologize. And Punk's like, huh? Apologize? Me? Apologize for what? Yeah. And then Jimmy steps in. Big Jim steps in and says, you and I were good. We were good here, but you went a little bit over the line last week. You apologize. Punk says, I'm sorry. But he's not apologizing for what he said to Roman Reigns. No, I'm sorry that Roman Reigns has never apologized to you and the bloodline for what he's done to you.
Such a great point.
About time somebody said it.
Yeah.
Punk has said that, and I think Cody has said it. I think those are the only two.
Maybe KO at one point
that have mentioned it.
Yeah.
That Roman Reigns used them and has still not apologized for everything that he's done to the bloodline, especially the Usos, what he's done to them in the last few years. So you get this segment. It really, really fires up the Usos. They get into it, and Jay knocks Punk on his ass. The Usos stare down Punk while he's sitting on his ass to end Monday Night Raw. What did you think about this closing segment and how it was executed while getting the point across without Roman Reigns there?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm, after we all kind of give our thoughts here, I do want to pose a question to both of you, but I thought it was really good. I like how they layered the Usos into this, and I love how especially Jimmy, because Jay's off the handle. Jay's losing his shit, right? Yeah. And then Jimmy's like the cool, hey, I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm cool. I'm mild-tempered. Let's talk about it. And then you could see Jimmy getting slowly angrier and frustrated as it went on. And it was like, it was really good the way they did that. And I love Jimmy specifically saying like, hey man, we don't give a shit what you say about Roman. We're not out. This has nothing. And even Jay later, they're like, this has nothing to do with Roman. You're talking shit about Roman to us. We don't care that you don't like Roman. We don't care about what you're saying. You disrespected our uncle who's dead. You dickhead. So say you're sorry.
Yeah,
and I think
I love the way that they executed that.
Yeah, and I think the way that CM Punk reacted, he was a dickhead again. And I want your opinion, Nick, obviously, but to me, CM Punk is the bad guy here. To me,
we're getting to that point where it seems like if you heard him tonight, like I said, he mentioned he's surprised that they're cheering him. He's trying to get them to boo him, which I think that's kind of they're trying to mix it up where CM Punk is not full babyface. They're both going to lean into their own direction and let the fans dictate what direction they want to go when it comes to who's going to be the babyface and who's going to be the heel in this matchup.
And I think that'll lead to a very fun atmosphere at WrestleMania because you have the people like me who I'm a CM Punk fan. I would choose CM Punk over Roman Reigns any day. Yeah, he mentioned his dead dad and like that's rough, but Roman Reigns, like Punk's not wrong that Reigns hasn't taken responsibility and accountability for everything that he's put people through, including the fans. Like Roman has gaslighted us, the fans, just as much as he's gaslighted the Usos. And we all welcome him back because he's cool, but like he's never apologized to me, and I deserve an apology, Cory. God damn it!
You need an apology from Roman. You need a personal
somebody does.
Apology?
Somebody he needs to apologize to somebody.
He definitely ain't apologizing to us. I can tell you that. He ain't apologizing to us.
The dude came back and he was just a good guy, and he hasn't said he was like Punk's not lying. He hasn't said he was sorry to friggin' anybody.
Yeah, he came back to save the day just to do what he does best and take the spotlight. And it's like when he's had all these different opportunities where they went up against the Vision and in Survivor Series War Games and everything, he hasn't said sorry to his cousins. He hasn't said sorry for the way that he treated his fellow superstars. He hasn't said sorry for anything. It's just me. I'm the one. You're going to acknowledge me. I haven't done shit wrong. It's all about me. I'm the guy. Me.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you fault CM Punk? I can't. But the cool thing is you can also see it from the Usos' perspective. Because if somebody was talking shit about my dead uncle, and I actually have a dead uncle, if somebody said anything about them, I'd drop them as quick as Jimmy dropped CM Punk. So it's cool. This segment was it was like an old school like bloodline segment. Like you didn't know where it was going to go. You felt this tension rising. You didn't know what was going to happen. You just got to watch it, and it was like you said, it was cinema. It was fun to watch. It wasn't this big brawl at the end of it with like Jimmy and Jay like laying the beat down on CM Punk. It was one punch. is one punch. Like, what would happen if somebody's talking shit about your dead family member? One punch, you knock them out.
And walk away.
And it makes it exciting to see what the Usos are going to do in the future. I know you mentioned that they could have a match against Austin Theory and Logan Paul at WrestleMania. That'd be great. And then maybe have them get involved in the main event a little bit. I know some people have said maybe the Bloodline reunites again and screws Punk out of the title. I don't really want to see that. I can definitely see the Usos playing a part in the WrestleMania main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting build to this night 2 main event for WrestleMania 42, WrestleMania Sunday, which before the segment, you saw a new graphic pop up. The graphic looks beautiful. It's more of a Vegas theme. A lot of people were complaining about the Tron-like graphics because they're like, what does that have to do with Las Vegas? It looks like WWE with their new graphics are leaning more into the Vegas theme when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's what the vibe I'm getting with this year's color scheme is. Last year, it was the casinos and everything and the cards. Now it's the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders color scheme and what they're doing there. So I think that the new graphic look great. I love what they're doing with that. But yeah, you said you had a question to ask, JPJ. It
was the CM Punk.
Was it?
Is he being the bad guy? Yes, because he is making
definitely
sense. Don't get me wrong, but like to me, he seems like Roman.
He's the one who did it. He's the one who did it with that line last week.
Yeah,
with that personal line, he's the one that took it over the top because their first segment was perfect. That first promo segment between the two of them was perfect. Last week's promo segment was like, holy shit, CM Punk just took it to another level. What the hell are we going to do now? And now we got this segment with the Usos. We got Roman coming back next week. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him and Punk. I told you I would like to see him beat Punk to a bloody pulp next week. I'd like to see some Crimson. It would make sense given how personal it has gotten.
100%.
Both of them have said they hate each other. They don't like each other. If you recall, though, Zebros or some shit. Zebros or some shit.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2, the #1 movie in theaters back in November. The Zebros, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Shout out to them for getting that over. But now it's time to get down to business and shit's getting real. So I think this way to end Monday Night Raw tonight was the perfect way to set up for next week. Because like you said, the Uso said, this is not about Roman. This is about you talking shit about that's not going to fly with us. You're talking shit about our family, and that's not going to fly with us. We don't give a damn about Roman Reigns, pretty much.
Correct.
You're talking about our family. You're talking about the higher part of our tree. Well, what are you doing here? You disrespect them, you disrespect us. So I'm very interested now to see what's going to happen, what direction we go. I think we have 3 more Roman Reigns appearances before WrestleMania, including next week, if I'm not mistaken, leading up to it. So 3 out of the 4. Punk said he's going to have to carry the feud. We're going to get some good stuff coming between the two of them when it comes to it, as long as they can continue to give us content with promos. So I think we're in not only for a hell of a ride with the two of them on the road to WrestleMania, but I think that match is going to hit like crazy.
Yeah, I think it should be good. It'll be a drama-filled, bloodline-esque. Like, Roman's matches during the Bloodline era were so dramatic with all that, and I think now they've just introduced another layer with the Usos, and because they haven't seen eye to eye. They're cool with Roman now, but there's still that. And Punk mentioning the certain things he did, it just creates, because we're going to get a segment with the Usos where they're still pissed at Punk, but they're going to be like, he's not fucking lying here.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't really apologized. And they're going to get to that part of it too with just Roman and them now. And it just creates layers to what we're going to get. So
I'm very excited for that. I think we mentioned it earlier, but the opening segment was the weakest part of tonight's show. As we moved forward with the episode, everything just got stronger. Flow-wise, timing, it felt like the show flew by tonight. It didn't drag. The 2 hours and 20 minutes tonight went by quickly. I love when wrestling shows fly by because it means that you're interested in it. you're sucked into it. So tonight, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10 if I had to rate it. Well, what'd you guys think? What's your overall feeling?
Yeah, I'd go for a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I was around the. Yeah, I feel good about a 7.5. I feel like if the opening segment was stronger, this was a solid 8, like a solid B+8 show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, let me go and tap into these. I know some of these people aren't in here anymore. J Omega says, "Hello, Cory Housen." Jace says, "Good evening to all." Killy says, "Yo." LB Media says, "Seth Rollins' Masked Man story is insane. The story behind it is insane. The way that it's being executed is kind of iffy." Let's see here. Last year, weren't they looking to make Dom a face? Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. They definitely, if they were going to pull the trigger last year, Dom should have been the baby face. Did create a fear Dom getting chance and cheers? No, that's not why it happened. DC Warlord says Finn Bálor needs some backup. He should call up Kenta, and it's Bálor and Kenta versus the Judgment Day. What a fucking time that would be, and taking it back to their days.
I wouldn't hate him calling a couple Good Brothers, maybe.
No, the Good Brothers would be nice. We saw him appear last month. We saw him appear on the AJ Styles tribute show. So anything's possible in this world, especially when they don't have a hard contract with any company. So you can have them show up. The man himself, birthday boy. Cassidy said the birthday Raw was pretty weak. The boss man. Because he was out for the majority of it. So he didn't get to see. But yeah, I'll agree with whatever he has to say today. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
You win. Whatever you say.
Ancho said WrestleMania should add the Lucha Brothers versus New Day versus Usos versus Motor City Machine Guns. That would be a hell of a fucking match if we could ever get it. Let's see. Lots pushing for Liv versus Stephanie to main event night 1. I mean, the story's there. It would be great. This would be the time to do it if they had to. I just think that WWE is going to give Randy Orton that main event
Randy
spot.
And Cody. I
think Randy Orton. There's been talks about different matches main eventing, but I think Randy versus Cody is the solidified. They keep saying it, main event. Triple H said 4 main events, so he's counting all the world title matches as main events. What closes the show is a true main event, though. So
agreed.
Let's see. Pancho said Dom's going to have to put over Finn. Yes.
Wait, yeah, that's okay.
Well, first of all, what do you mean? Like, do you mean put over as in like in a negative way? Oh, he's going to put over a guy that could be world champion this year? Oh, God.
Yeah.
God forbid.
God forbid. Because with Dom losing to Finn, not only does it add to his credibility, but it just elevates him to a different level. I think we could see Dominic Mysterio win the Money in the Bank briefcase this year and win the championship. I think that's the next path that he should go after dropping the Intercontinental Championship and dropping his feud with Finn Bálor. But we'll see what WWE decides. Kelly asks, is Xavier Woods injured? He is. He has a shoulder injury. He's rehabbing currently, hoping that he does not have to get surgery. LB Media says, I think El Grande versus OG will face each other again at Mania, Mask versus Mask. I don't think the match even happens next week if that's the direction that they're going to go. Kelly says the ruler. Yes, that is the man right there.
Yeah.
The Pancho Wancho, was that the whole locker room and Mask? That was Seth Rollins' students from Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. Those were his people that he's having helping with these segments. Gumpflo says Oba winning King of the Ring in the summer should be priority number 1. That immediately elevates him to a championship match at SummerSlam. So I think that is 100% the direction they should go. I would put Oba Femi, put him at 8 months on the main roster and he wins a title already. Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
I agreed.
That is our comment section. That's a great comments tonight. We always like to wait to the end unless there's like a super chat or a humper chat or something, which you can also donate to us. You can go and find them and donate to us whenever we're on the air here.
Are we allowed to say humper chat? Are we infringing on Fightful's copyright?
I don't care. Whatever we say.
Our friends.
We call them every. They are. We can call them whatever we want to because they have different names. Whatever.
Yeah.
We could call them. We'll call them body chats, slam chats, whatever we want to call them.
We'll figure it out next week. We'll have something.
Yeah, we got some. But the Patreon, we try to put out as much content as possible. I definitely have been trying to put out as much news as I can when I get it for you guys. So if you can, subscribing to the Patreon is huge for Bodyslam because it helps us to be able to do other content for you guys. So it'd be greatly appreciated. We appreciate all the support on the Patreon. I asked for feedback last week, so we're going to have more content, not just scoops on our Patreon. This weekend, we did an NXT Vengeance Day prediction show with the insiders on there. So we're going to have different content on there. I think we're going to do some watch-alongs with people, some new content coming. We're going to hit the ground running in 2026 here at Bodyslam. Of course, go ahead and get the NordVPN. Bodyslam is the code. Go and get your discount there. Get you some nice protection. Nice protection on there. And
always use protection.
Protection is number one for us. Yes.
Yes.
Especially here at Bodyslam.
Yes.
Yeah. You can go ahead and follow us on all of our social media. Bodyslam.net. We are all over on X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok. We got Max Dinnenberg does the highs and lows for the shows during the week. Shout out to Max. Greatly appreciated. I did the post show for NXT with him Saturday. Max is great. He's going to be doing another post show this week, I think, for the Rey de Reyes on Saturday with me. And then Sunday, he's doing the AEW Revolution post show with Blackhawk and probably me, depending on timing, because who knows when that show is going to end. You can follow me, obviously, on Twitter. My handle's on the screen. You can find me there. I tried to do it. I'm on Instagram, too. I don't use it much. You can go and find me on there, too. My Blue Sky has no underscore. My TikTok has no underscore. Doesn't do it. I might just have to take the underscore out of my name. We'll see. I might have to take the underscore so everything can match the whole brand like everybody does branding things. Let's see. We got a few more before we get out of here. Pancho Wancho. Glad Dom's going to be in the main event scene later down the year. He deserves it. I've been very impressed since he left Ray's shadow with his work. His body of work speaks for itself. Incredible talent, not only in WWE, but his work in AAA right now. He will be defending the AAA Mega Championship this Saturday at Rey de Reyes against El Hijo del Vikingo. The stipulation is if Dom loses, he leaves AAA forever. If Vikingo loses, he can no longer challenge for the AAA Mega Championship as long as Dominic Mysterio is the champion. So that's going to be a good one to look out for on Saturday. Let's see. I know it's not Raw related, but where will NXT PLEs be shown now? Is it ESPN? Well, after Vengeance Day, they promoted that Stand and Deliver is also going to be on Peacock. I don't have an update yet because all of their content is supposed to be getting removed from Peacock this month. So I'll try to get an update if I can, as soon as I can. All their content is supposed to be moving away from there, except for Saturday night's main event. That's supposed to be an exclusive for Peacock only. So I'll try to get you an answer for that if I can soon enough.
Yeah, I want to know where all the old classic NXT takeovers are going.
Their classics are already on YouTube.
Are they all of them?
Their NXT channel has their episodes and their takeovers. Yes.
Good.
I put it on every night when I lay down and I study old stuff while I'm going to sleep.
Sure.
I watch the NXT because Black and Gold NXT is untouchable. It was an incredible time. So I sit there and I watch all the old stuff. Hell, I even watched the stuff right before NXT 2.0 started. I watched all the stuff that happened with the Undisputed Era and everybody back then.
Great stuff.
Lean into it. So it's great. Like I said, I'll try to get an answer and hopefully have that up on Patreon. Let's see. AAA can't lose Dom. He's so important for them. He has done wonders for that promotion. I think that he's not going to lose that title. He just lost the Intercontinental Championship. So I don't think that he's going to lose the Mega Championship just yet. They need to get a true contender for that, which I think is going to come from the Rey de Reyes final that they have on Saturday, the Fatal 4-Way match. So it's going to be interesting. But speaking of AAA, it has been my favorite promotion, my favorite show within WWE in 2026. It's a lot of fun. I like the work that they're doing over there. And if you haven't, you can watch it on YouTube everywhere except for Latin America. You can watch it there. You know, watch it on Fox. Watch it on Fox in Mexico. So it's It's starting. They're looking for a TV deal in America, but for now you can watch it on YouTube. So,
oh yeah.
All right. So where can they find you guys at, fellas?
I am at Western Rebel on Twitter, on Blue Sky, I don't have an Instagram. Mostly Twitter or X. That's where you can find me. I'm like 94 people away from having 1,000 followers, which I know doesn't sound a lot to you, Cory, Mr. Thousands of followers, but to me it's a big deal. So I'd love to get it up to 1,000 here as soon as we can. So go on and follow me at Twitter X at Western Rebel.
Yeah. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, everywhere as well. Also on Twitch as I play and stream a lot of games. MLB The Show is coming out this weekend, and that's the game I play the most. So I am going to be streaming that for the rest of my life. But you can find me here Wednesday evenings. And this Wednesday evening, after AEW Dynamite, me and Jose Gonzalez, Jose on the Air, we have a show called Dynamite Up, where we review Dynamite. This week will probably be more of a Revolution preview show as opposed to a review, but we do that every Wednesday right after Dynamite here on Bodyslam. Thursdays over on Love Wrestling, Between Two Beards, me and my man Pluggo, who's helped us out over here on Bodyslam too. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Yes, Pluggo's the man. We do that over there. And then Sundays on Fightful Overbooked, I'm with Auntie Collins doing a new show called
Fantastic.
Coast to Coast. So,
fantastic person.
Thank you. Yeah, she's wonderful as well. I'm lucky to be able to work with the people that I work with. They're all great people
in this industry. We have so many great personalities, friends of Bodyslam and people associated with Bodyslam as well. So like I said, I'm very excited for some of the work that's coming in 2026, not only for me, for the brand, but for everybody involved with the brand. Like you said, JPJ, all the stuff that you're doing right now. Nick, we got to get some more stuff with you coming, man. We got to get it.
I got to start doing some more videos. I'm too busy with my real life doing work.
It's so tough. It's so tough. That's why when I can provide content, I get on here. I'm going to be doing a lot. I said it on Saturday. I'm going to be doing pretty much every post show now. I'll be doing the post shows, get more content out there. Let me get the card to stream my PS5 to my PC. That way I can start gaming and doing like 2K26 and stuff like that on the Bodyslam channels too. But there is a lot of content coming in 2026. Very excited. I got some things I'm working on in the background right now with some of the biggest content creators in the wrestling community. Looking forward to it. I'm going to have some stuff coming. We have some great interviews coming here on Bodyslam as also. Shout out to Jordan for doing his interviews too. But yeah, that concludes our Raw review. Raw Dogs is back, baby. We're back and better than ever on the road to WrestleMania. We appreciate all of you who tuned in. Appreciate your questions. Appreciate you, Pancho Wancho, for giving the thumbs up there. I said what was next week on Raw already.
Rewind it and go back.
We'll just say Brock Lesnar returns, Roman Reigns returns, AJ Lee versus Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and El Grande Americano versus original El Grande Americano next week on Monday Night Raw on Netflix.
It's gonna be a hell of a show. I'm excited for it.
Should be.
We'll see you guys next week.
And remember, I did say what the date is next week. Could we potentially have a bald man appear on Monday Night Raw next week?
Me?
Ha!
Maybe I'll be there.
WWE Hall of Famer, Stone Cold Steve Austin, 316 day. We'll see what happens. If we get a surprise appearance from him, it would be one hell of a pop in San Antonio, Texas. Get the beers.
I think they should have Gunther in the ring, and he should interrupt Gunther when Gunther's talking about retiring everybody. That's what I think should happen. So, but we'll see.
But for now, we're signing off for Raw Dogs this week. Appreciate you guys. Hour and a half stream. It was a lot of fun to come back, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace out.